Hey, howdy, and hello everyone. A Pillow here with an off-stream segment. I'm doing an off-stream segment right quick to pump something out since I wasn't able to stream this weekend, but we have ourselves a spicy meatball today. So, this month is the month of the big G's. We are talking the month of the big gay. It is Pride Month, and on this Pride Month, we have groups of people and various different entities showing their support for the queer community through, repainting their things in queer colors, rainbows, all the like. And that includes our kind friends over at the New York Police Department, the NYPD. So, as we can see, the NYPD police cruisers, let me remove that, the NYPD police cruisers have been decked out in all rainbows, some nice happy Pride Month messaging over here. But there's something very special about these specific cruisers. As we can see here from at Stroof Queen on Twitter, I'm assuming very lovely person considering the flags in their bio. Shout out to the queer artist who took money from the cops to plaster ACAB on their vehicles for Pride Month. You see, in just the smartest play ever, the most 10,000 IQ play ever, whoever designed these cop cars decided to add on a little message here. All colors are beautiful. ACAB. Which, as some of you, especially those watching my content, might know, those initials, ACAB, also stand for something else. ACAB. And I quote, all cops are bastards. That line of that line has made it onto NYPD, arguably the most demonic police department in the United States, with billions of dollars in funding, has made it onto their cruisers for Pride Month, and I think this is just a perfect thing, and I think it's very hilarious. So let's extrapolate from this exactly why this specific juxtaposition of police cruisers, pride, and being plastered with ACAB by a queer artist is funny and also endearing. So let's talk a little bit about queer history, and I'm doing this off the dome, so please forgive me if I get anything wrong. Yeah, I did not script this out at all. But some of you may know Pride Month started, like you may often hear Pride was initially a riot, and that is true. And that is because of the Stonewall riot in Greenwich Village, New York City. Basically, what had happened was there was a gay bar in New York City, and this bar was raided by police because they didn't pay off the police. Among some various other things, like gay bars couldn't get liquor licenses, so they had to go through the mob very often to get those licenses, and that kind of gave the cops probable cause, but at the same time, they just wanted to be paid off, like their bribes, cops were. Back then when the Stonewall riots had started and they weren't paid those bribes, and people kinda got sick and tired of gay bars getting raided and shut down by cops for not paying bribes, and it was also coming up on a mayoral election year, so it was gotta look good to shut down queer bars with electoralism. It's multiple different things coincided, but basically after this Stonewall and was shut down and raided by the NYPD, this very same organization flying these colors, Stonewall riot started, and a couple of things happened. Quite a bit of things happened, and basically sparked off the modern queer pride movement. And I think personally it is a lovely bit of irony that despite the fact that the NYPD, which for all intents and purposes still remains to this day a heavily anti-queer organization, I find it excessively funny that this organization who dares try to bastardize these colors in the name of appearing inclusive when they are horrible, the NYPD is as an organization. I find it very funny that the person who designed these colors for them was like, hey, I'm gonna toss in an ACAB reference because never forget your roots, I guess, you know? And I do think all colors are beautiful. Just like I think this car is absolutely beautiful. This is hilarious. I want to see where the NYPD goes moving forward with this. If they keep flying this on their cars, if they've already repainted a lot of them for Vermont, and if they want to take it out of their multi-billion-dollar budget to repaint the cars just so that they don't have to have this on here. I think this is hilarious. And let's talk about what this means moving forward. So, progressive movements, historically, have typically been opposed by cops. Cops are typically a more conservative force in governments, local, statewide, etc., whether it be your sheriff's office, your state troopers, your county police department, etc. Typically the more conservative force going against social progress. And we see this even at protests very often. If it's like a pro-queer protest with counter-protesters, it isn't uncommon to see cops, kind of being neutral or siding with anti-queer protesters. Cops very notoriously vote more conservative, and looking at the conservative movement in the United States currently, very anti-queer. And I think it is very good if you are ever given the opportunity, and I'm saying this to anyone watching this, if you are ever given the opportunity to do something like this, like if someone comes up to you and they say, hey, you're like a queer graphic designer, or like a queer allied graphic designer, or just like a graphic designer watching this and you are in support of these viewpoints, could you like design, some pro-queer gear so that we can like rainbow wash our horrific treatment of queer people both back in the day and now? I think you should include references to what they did wrong in this, and I think, again, all colors are beautiful. Perfect example of this. The NYPD is trying to make their position in queer history with this seem better than it actually is, making themselves seem like queer allies when they aren't. They weren't in the past, they aren't today, and they will likely never be as long as we go forward, because inherently they are supporting a system that is anti-queer. New York City may be one of the best places in the nation to be queer, but that doesn't mean that New York City fundamentally isn't very anti-queer. We have to keep in mind, New York Mayor Eric Adams is currently on a crusade against homeless people, and when we look at statistics, a vast majority of homeless youth, not homeless people as a whole, but like a good portion of homeless youth are homeless because they're queer and they're like kicked out of their houses by unaccepting families. So Eric Adams is, as mayor of New York City, supporting policies that will by extension fuck over queer people and queer youth. Going back to Stonewall, we see this in the past with the NYPD. They explicitly fucked over queer people. Even moving forward into the future, if these policies continue, these anti-homeless policies, things of this nature, anti-squatting policies, these policies that further marginalize people who are already in marginalized positions, these are inherently going to fuck over queer people, because currently, at least in the United States of America, queer people are like the most explicit group on the bottom of the totem pole. There are definitely groups beneath queer people in terms of like respect in American society, But in terms of the groups getting like the most attention now, it's definitely queer people. And as long as this backlash is happening, these systems that are currently in place are always going to push against them, no matter how much politicians say that they aren't pushing against them. Even those that are vocally in support, you're still likely going to be passing laws to fuck over queer people. And I think it's great to be able to hide this fact. Well, not hide this fact, but I think it's great to be able to hide the fact. No, I think it's great to be able to shame these organizations that are trying to rainbow wash themselves and portray themselves as queer allies, and by hiding little details like this, and all colors are beautiful. You know? I think that's smart. I think it is a good way to fight back. And honestly, I'd rather have something like this, you know, some artist who's friendly to the movement getting money to basically, you know, kind of shit on the people who shit on us. I think I much prefer this than it being some in-house graphic designer who's a part of these actual groups that want to fuck over queer people. So, once again, everyone, all colors are beautiful. This is a beautiful display of some nice malicious compliance, I would say. And if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. I will be going live a lot more soon. I love you all. Follow me on Twitter, links in the description. Also join the Discord server down below so that you know when I go live, links in the description as well. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace. I have to hit the stop recording button.